So I came across a video on YouTube called The Drama Slop to School Pipeline. And I honestly don't think that I'm exaggerating when I say that this might unironically be one of the most autistic videos that has ever been uploaded on this platform. Not only did this guy feel the need to inform everyone that he is located somewhere on the spectrum, and honestly, I don't even know what this flag means. Like, I'm not even gonna Google it because I don't want to know just how this guy is. I don't want to know the specifics of this guy's. So I'm not gonna do any research about this flag and what exactly it represents. I refuse to do that. But this guy also decided to include not one, but 2 images of anime girls with their bare feet. You will be looking at these images in the background for the entirety of this 2-hour-long video. And initially when I saw this, I thought that, oh, this is most likely just a joke. Like, haha, what a weird and silly thing to include in the background of a video about political radicalization. But then this guy takes it a step further and he removes one of his socks and he also raises his foot to make sure that it's in frame. Now, I'm really not trying to be funny when I say this. I kinda get the impression that he didn't do this purely for the sake of comfort. I kinda get the feeling that he did this because he might be getting off on the idea of a bunch of people looking at his bare foot. I know that consciously this might not seem like a big deal, but subconsciously, this guy is molesting all of us. Now, the premise of this video, the whole reason why this video exists is because some random black teenager committed a school and he left a manifesto where he wrote that he hated being black and that he was radicalized by Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, and Turkey Tom, amongst other names. So basically what happened is, this guy looked at all the violence, all the shootings, all the mass things that were committed by black males, and he decided to cherry pick the one singular example of a school being committed by a black male, not for the usual reasons that they commit this kind of violence, but this one did it because he was radicalized by the far right. And now this guy's unironically doing the meme where he pretends that the far right is the biggest threat to America. Now, the claim that this guy is trying to make with this video isn't that commentary channels in and of themselves radicalize people into being far right. He's saying that these commentary channels are a stepping stone in that process.
Turkey Tom's video on the Charlie Kirk assassination provides the clearest example of what Munn calls normalization, the process by which extreme ideas are encountered in contexts that make them feel like common sense.
Yeah, the extreme ideas that he is talking about is that trans people are not normal.
Kirk's years of rhetoric calling transgender people an abomination and a throbbing middle finger to God.
I mean, it's kind of difficult to disagree.
And describing the stoning of gay people as God's perfect law are reduced in Turkey Tom's video to a single phrase.
Charlie Kirk is infamous for his opposition to transgenderism.
That's it. That is the entire context we get on Kirk and what he believed. And that's just the trans shit too. That isn't even him touching on civil rights or what he thought about Jews. Seems kind of important to bring up.
The video is literally called The Man Who Murdered Charlie Kirk. This is not a video about Charlie Kirk and the things that Charlie Kirk said. This is a video about the guy that killed him. The main reason this guy is mad that Turkey Tom didn't mention the controversial statements that Kirk made is because he believes that those statements justify his killing.
Tom's supposedly exhaustive evidence seems to brush aside things like the Washington Post investigation, which had interviews with 21 people who knew the accused shooter and found nothing to corroborate the narrative that he had been radicalized by left-wing extremism.
They found nothing to corroborate that he was radicalized by left-wing extremism? Bro, the guy took a gun, shot a right-wing political commentator, wrote "Hey fascist catch" on one of the bullets, and was having gay butt sex with a man. What do you mean he wasn't radicalized by left-wing extremism? Also, apparently, that's not an example of left-wing extremism, but a random black guy committing a random senseless cool shit That apparently is an example of right-wing extremism because he watched Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes. The only reason why this guy's trying to argue that Tyler Robinson isn't a left-wing extremist is because this guy himself is a left-wing extremist and he is incapable of recognizing how extreme his worldview is. And something that I think a lot of people have noticed about these left-wing extremists is that to them, basically anyone that isn't as far left as them politically, basically all of them are right-wing. I think a lot of people have noticed that. It's like, for example, this guy literally tries arguing that Moist Critical, of all people, is a part of the alt-right pipeline.
When iDubbbz was on a stream a little while ago and pointed out that Moist Critical, hey, look who showed up again, might function as part of the alt-right pipeline.
Like,
it's part of the pipeline, though. It's the same reason people wouldn't say Charlie, Moist Critical, is right-wing or like as ideologically fucked out there as like a Nick Fuentes or even Asmongold, right?
Moist Critical's video on the Charlie Kirk assassination is a perfect little microcosm on how this both sides alibi operates through omission, and I think validates iDubbbz's assertion.
I don't know much about Charlie Kirk, and I've seen a lot of people saying that now when like giving their take on this, and I think a lot of them are just making that shit up because they don't want to get like too deep into the nitty-gritty or anything. But truly, I have been very offline over the last year and some change, so I haven't seen a whole lot of Charlie Kirk.
In his video, he superficially condemns violence, but never engages with what Kirk's positions were, why he was controversial, which led to varying reactions upon his death.
This is exactly what I said earlier. This guy believes that the Kirk assassination was justified because of Charlie Kirk's opinions. He believes that Kirk deserved to die for his opinions. And he is now accusing Moist Critical of being a part of the alt-right pipeline because Critical didn't take the time to paint Charlie Kirk as a hateful Nazi that deserves to get shot. That's literally the only reason why this guy is claiming that Critical is a part of the alt-right pipeline. These guys are so extreme that to them, anyone that isn't as far left as them is a part of a problem. It's really funny to me how people like this don't seem to realize that they are a part of the alt-right pipeline as well. What would the alt-right pipeline be without leftist freaks trying to dismantle everything that is considered normal and giving the right-wing ammunition? And this is a perfect example of that. This guy believing that Charlie Kirk deserves to die for his political opinions, that means that this guy believes that tens of millions of Americans also deserve to die because there's tens of millions of Americans that agree with Charlie Kirk. Leftists expressing these kinds of opinions, this is what actually radicalizes people to be right-wing, to move to the far right. Trying to imply that Moist Critical is a part of a problem because he isn't a leftist ally, that radicalizes people. That pushes people away from the left and pushes them closer to the right. Ironically enough, if people like this were the way that they are, we wouldn't be seeing this huge rise of popularity for right-wing and far-right politics. Ironically, people like this and the retarded changes that they have implemented across the globe are by far the biggest cause and the main driver for the right's increase in popularity everywhere.